2,500 years apart. One built from packed earth and stone across a desert empire. One built from asphalt and concrete across a continental republic. Both changed the world in identical ways for identical reasons. And the man who built the first one never heard of America, while the men who built the second one had almost certainly never heard of him. Infrastructure is not the story history likes to tell. History prefers generals and battles and the drama of individual decision. But the boring truth, the truth that determines which empires last and which ones collapse, is that the civilization with the best roads wins. It has always been this way. Cyrus the Great understood it in 550 BCE. Dwight Eisenhower understood it in 1956. 25 centuries apart, they made the same calculation and built the same solution and created the same result. This is the story of two road systems that built two superpowers. To understand the Royal Road, you have to look beneath the surface. This wasn't just a dirt path, it was the world's first high-speed network. In the marshes, engineers laid foundations of bitumen and lime mortar. In the mountains, they leveled limestone outcroppings. They built arched bridges and stone culverts, engineering feats so durable that some sections remained in use for 2,000 years. But the true genius was the Stathmoi, 111 way stations spaced precisely 15 miles apart. These were fortified complexes, stocked with wine, grain, and the empire's elite Angaraean riders. To Sardis on the Aegean coast. This wasn't a road for everyone. It was a closed-loop system for the state, turning a 90-day trek into a 7-day sprint. The first centralized imperial administration was born not in the palace, but in the gravel of the highway. Cyrus the Great had a problem that every empire builder encounters and that most empire builders solve badly. He had conquered an enormous amount of territory. From the Aegean coast of Anatolia in the west to the borders of India in the east, from the Caucasus Mountains in the north to the Persian Gulf in the south, the Achaemenid Persian Empire was the largest political unit the world had ever seen. Holding this together required something that military power alone could not provide. It required information to move faster than rebellion. The speed of information was the speed of control. At each way station, fresh horses were kept ready at all times. The relay system meant that a message could travel the full 1,700 miles in approximately 7 days, a journey that would take an ordinary traveler 3 months. Herodotus wrote the line that became the motto of the United States Postal Service: "Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds." Not an American institution, a Persian one. The road was about power projection. Tax revenues from 20 satrapies could be physically transported to the treasury. The entire administrative machinery of a 2 million square mile empire operated through this network. Alexander the Great, the Seleucids, and the Romans all built on Persian conceptual foundations. The idea that roads are the precondition of governance originated here and never stopped being true. Eisenhower's obsession with roads didn't start in a boardroom. It started in the mud of the American Midwest. In July 1919, a young Lieutenant Colonel Eisenhower joined a military convoy across a country that barely had a map. It was a 62-day catastrophe. In Nebraska, wooden bridges built for horses collapsed under the weight of Class B Liberty trucks. The Corps of Engineers had to rebuild 88 bridges just to keep moving across the continent. In the Great Salt Lake Desert, the roads simply vanished into shifting sands and salt flats. They spent more time winching trucks with block and tackle than they did driving. Eisenhower saw a superpower that couldn't even move its own army. He saw a nation paralyzed by its own geography. 25 centuries later, Dwight D. Eisenhower had a problem Cyrus would have recognized. In 1956, he signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, authorizing 41,000 miles of high-speed highway. The rationale was defense, but the reality was empire. It wasn't just a construction project, it was the largest transfer of public wealth in history. A 90-to-10 funding split created a dedicated highway trust fund. It birthed the just-in-time delivery model, reducing logistics costs by 50% almost overnight. It fueled the suburban explosion, doubling the suburban population in 30 years and creating the American middle class as we know it. From McDonald's at the interchange to the regional shopping mall, the interstate system wasn't just a road, it was the operating system of the American dream. The concrete barriers became permanent geographic markers of segregation. In cities like Detroit and Miami, the road brought wealth to the suburbs and isolation to the urban core. The engineering of a superpower always carries a human cost. The concrete barriers became permanent geographic markers of segregation. In cities like Detroit and Miami, the road brought wealth to the suburbs and isolation to the urban core. The engineering of a superpower always carries a human cost. Power without logistics is theater. You can win battles and lose empires. You can have wealth and no way to concentrate it. The Persians understood this. Eisenhower understood this. The road from Susa to Sardis and the road from Washington to Los Angeles are the same idea. The inheritance is explicit. America's iconic civic motto is a tribute to a Persian achievement from 500 BCE, pressed into the earth by an emperor who understood that the roads came first. Everything else followed.